video about how to make this cool parallax effect for your website, and let's dive deep into the details. So here is so first of all, I'm gonna tell you how my page is arranged, right? So I have group everything, I have focus, group portfolio, and then I have group focus, not focus group but floating group portfolio, and group focus menu. This is just a menu, so we don't need to pay attention to this much. So I have group everything, where I have group hero and group portfolio, but I control when the group portfolio is visible, because if I did not, this is how you would see my website. Let me refresh it. So see, there is this hero section, and then right after it comes the group portfolio, right? However, I want that effect. So what I do is I have both of these groups unified in group everything, and the group everything is transparent. See, it doesn't have the background style, it's none. So, and then that's why I need the floating group portfolio, which is behind the page. So it's not even behind the group everything, it's behind the index page. So it's not even clickable when you get there. Like when it's visible, you cannot click on it. It's just visible because the page is transparent as well. So let me hide this again so that I can demonstrate how floating groups work whenever they are behind the page. See, I cannot click any of them, it doesn't even see that I'm hovering over it. But when the first group is hidden from the viewport, then I display the main group where I have the portfolio, and these are clickable, these even get that I'm hovering over them, etc. Right? So I hope for now you understand how the structure works, but now I want to show you how to make these viewport sizes and all that. So at the beginning, you cannot, how do you make this element be 100% of the viewport size, viewport height? And don't confuse this with the min height 100%, like whatever we have here, because whenever you do 100% in here, this means 100% of the page, not the viewport. Viewport is whatever you see here, right? So for example, now if I change the Chrome browser to this, let's say like this, and I refresh, viewport size is gonna change, but see, now the height of this element is whatever viewport was at that moment, right? So it's dynamic. That's all I'm saying, all I'm trying to say. So how you do that? You go to settings or plugins, and you use classify or install classify. Then you go to design, and you just drop any type of HTML element. This is see how tiny it is, HTML element, and then you copy and paste this snippet right here in the whatever table or whatever this is, right? So I'm gonna include this code in the YouTube description. So so once you have pasted it in here, you go to a group that you want to have this viewport dimensions or something, and you go to ID attribute, and you paste the whatever code name or tag it had, like content 100 VH. So VH means viewport height. So and also, to be able to do the ID attributes, you have to go to settings, general, and then expose the option to add an ID attribute to HTML elements, and you just check this. So now what we have established right now is this group is always going to have the 100% of the viewport. So what else do you do? How do you calculate when do you make this visible while the height of this element is dynamic, right? So for that, again, you go to plugins, you install get browser and viewport properties, and once you go back to design, you get the get properties element, and now it's on the page, and that's it. It tracks the viewport height, and also it tracks a couple of other stuff to the best of my knowledge, but at the moment we need just viewport height. So I called this element viewport H. So now what I do is I go to portfolio, group portfolio, and I tell it you are not visible unless these conditions happen. When current page scrolling position equals to or is more than viewport H's viewport height. So this means like viewport height directly, right? Then you're visible. And I do the same thing with the floating group portfolio, but I just tell it you're not visible, and then also I tell it when current page scrolling position is more than viewport H's viewport height, then you're visible. So I hope this all makes sense, and that's how you get to this get to this effect. I think it's called parallax effect. So yeah, so that's it. Shout out to Julien Allard, probably Julien Allard, for making classify. Big shout out to Blur Apps for making get browser and viewport properties. Big shout out to Kelly Klaus, give her a follow, for giving me the code snippet to use for the viewport height. Big shout out to Damien Genzi, follow him as well, for giving teaching me how to use the classify element or plugin. And big shout out to Bubble and anyone on the Bubble forum who is so helpful, and shout out to the community. Alright, take care guys, hope this helps. If it doesn't, just let me know in the comments below, or let me know if there is anything that I can make a video of that's gonna be helpful for you. Take care.